Hey all, I just wanted to come and talk to you today about fear. So, interestingly, this came up because I was walking down by the river, and because it was so cold, I had my earmuffs on, and so I didn't hear this guy running behind me until he said, "Excuse me," and I literally jumped out of my skin. So, my first response was, "You scared the hell out of me." He said sorry, and then he carried on running. But it kind of got me thinking about fear. Now, fear, in a general sense, if you look at the definition, is a human emotion that alerts us to danger, threat, or harm. And so, again, if you just imagine, walking down a street late at night, two of the lights have busted, it's really dark, there's someone walking in the opposite direction, their face is covered, they've got a knife in their hand. Fear. Most of us are going to immediately get into a state of fear, feel fear, right? And then we do the fight or flight. Do I have a knife in my bag? Nope. Okay, so I'm going. And then I'll leave. Now, interestingly, we associate fear with thought. And I say that because a lot of people that I have coached have been unable to take certain types of actions because they're scared. And so when we kind of get a bit deeper and we try to understand what does that mean, it's the fear of the thought coming true, right? So let's say you wanted to start a new business. I'm scared to start that business because it may fail. Now, it hasn't failed because you haven't started it. You haven't even worked at it. You haven't tried to make it work. So you will never get to experience or validate that thought if you don't try. But because we're stuck in the thought, we don't really take action. And so I tend to look at fear as forget expectations and react, right? Because if we're in our head, the only thing we're doing is creating stories. These stories will never come true because they're only in our head. I'm not saying that you should just go and start a business tomorrow and not think about anything, but take precautions while you're in action, right? Whilst you're doing something, start to take precautions and adapt to what's going on. But when you're not even acting and you're stuck in your thoughts, you're creating fear, and you're feeling scared about something that hasn't even happened yet, which is just a strange concept to me. We essentially fester in fear of thought rather than take action. And when I say validate, if I have a thought, my business is going to fail, or I'm going to fail in my business, or I'm going to fail in this relationship, unless I try, I will never know whether or not that's true. So instead of being stuck in our thoughts, what we could do is just try them out. Just try things, get into action, start creating things, start doing things, and then we're able to validate whether or not what we had thought was true. That is a better way to go than just having these, scenarios and these thoughts in your head that may never come to pass. Because the flip side of that is, what if you are successful? What if that relationship does work? What if that business does work? You're never going to know any of these things unless you try. So forget expectations, and that's the expectation of failure, of something going wrong or whatever. Just forget all of that. Forget expectations and react. Everything that you have done in your life has brought you to this point. So anything that you are faced with, you should be able to deal with. So forget expectations and just react. If something comes your way, figure out how to solve the problem, not focus on the problem itself. And so this is one very quick way for you to get away from fear, to challenge your fears and to push through fears. And it's simply to take action. The very thing that you're too scared to do it, right? Because once you've done it, you'll either realize that it was scary, but at least you did it, or it was very scary, you did it and you succeeded, or you did it and you've had to learn something from that, which will set you up in the future. But either way, instead of spending all of that time in your head, you spent it in reality actually creating something and doing something to help you move further along. Anyway, this was just random thoughts that came to me today as I collected myself after this incident with this guy literally making me jump out of my skin. But again, it just comes down to fear. Fear is definitely something I hear a lot through coaching specifically, and it's the thing that's preventing us from living our lives and living our lives fully. So I just want to encourage you that if you've got an idea for a business, you have a relationship you're thinking about, there's something that you want to pursue for yourself, there's a hobby you're thinking about, you know, whatever it is, just do it. Honestly, just do it. You will find that whatever happens, you can at least say you've done it, and you will either succeed in it or learn from it. You will always win, because there are only two options: to learn or to succeed. So I hope that's been helpful. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and I'll speak to you soon.